5139, Stop Sexual Assault and Harassment in Transportation. It will require passenger transportation providers to develop formal policies to help prevent sexual assault and harassment in transportation, develop an open culture that facilitates reporting of such incidents. The number one goal in transportation people, whether it's across town or across an ocean, must be safety. That's why it's critical for companies and their contractors to have comprehensive policies in place, effectively respond to sexual assaults and harassment incidents. While it's estimated that 90% of U.S. companies currently have a sexual harassment policy in place, 1 in 5 companies does not offer training to prevent such incidents. This can leave passengers vulnerable and personnel unequipped to adequately address incidents when they occur. Some people may wonder whether this problem is rampant as many suggest, and is there enough robust, organized data out there that sheds light on the issue? And to that, I would say no, there is not enough robust data. There's no federal clearinghouse for transportation-related sexual assault and harassment incidents. Lack of centralized data risks giving the traveling public false impression these incidents either don't occur or are not as prevalent as they actually say are. And in reality, sexual harassment and assault are a growing problem in transportation. Passenger reports of in-flight sexual assaults in passenger airlines increased from 38 to 63 from 14 to 17, and according to the Federal Bureau of Investigation, a 2018 study, 17% of all respondents experienced sexual harassment while using mass transportation. Since 2016, 220 sexual assaults aboard cruise ships have been reported to DOT, and is by far the most frequently reported crime on cruise ships. In recent years, there's been no other industry on this issue has been plagued more than Uber and Lyft. In September, 14 women sued Lyft, citing the company's failure to address the sexual predator crisis among its drivers. According to the lawsuit, Lyft received as many as 100 complaints of sexual assault in California alone between 2014 and 16. News reports have alleged 395 sexual assaults perpetuated by Uber and Lyft drivers in a 5-year period. Yet we have no idea what the actual numbers are because these companies have not made the data public. That's unacceptable. We can and must do better. That's why I introduced the 5139 Stop Sexual Transportation Harassment in Transportation Act. It will require transportation providers to establish formal policies addressing sexual assault and harassment, direct employees to receive specific training for not how just to handle sexual assault harassment incidents, but also how to recognize and respond to potential human trafficking activities as well. Direct the DOT to establish the first ever federal clearinghouse for transportation-related sexual assault and harassment data to allow us and the traveling public to fully understand the scope of the problem. We can no longer allow sexual violence and abuse to persist on our roads, our coasts, or in our skies. We must do everything in our power to ensure transportation is safe for those who work in it and everyone who wishes to use it. This bill, which will allow us to finally track, respond to, and ultimately prevent sexual assault and harassment within all areas, brings us one step closer to achieving that goal. I want to acknowledge and express my appreciation for the support of the bill's co-sponsors, Representative Brownlee, Carbajal, Carson, Espaillat, Fletcher, Huffman, Johnson, Texas, Larson, Lipinski, Lowenthal, Lynch, Malinowski, Maloney, Napolitano, Norton, Pappas, Payne, Ceres, Cohen, Titus, and Wilson. In addition, the bill has been strongly endorsed by the American Association of Justice, Association of Flight Attendants, Airline Pilots Association, and the Association of Professional Flight Attendants, National Center on Sexual Exploitation, Rights for Girls, and Solutions for Survivors. I look forward to continuing to work in this Congress to advance this important legislation. Urge my colleagues to join me in supporting H.R. 5139, Stop Sexual Assault and Harassment in Transportation. And at this point, I would recognize Ranking Member Graves.